Everyone watching this screen is standing at a crossroads right now, but it's not the kind you see on a map. It's the crossroads of Path A and Path B. Path A is paved with what you know. It is lined with the familiar. It promises, above all else, comfort. It is the known quantity. It is the road of least resistance. It is logical. It is safe. Path B is different. It is not paved at all. It is a track into the unknown. It is not defined by comfort, but by something else, something harder to name, something like conviction, something like loyalty, something like faith. There is a powerful identity-shaping force you will ever exercise. It is not your talent. It is not your intelligence. It is your loyalty. And I want to show you how one woman's decision at a crossroads of utter despair did not just change her life, it altered the course of history. Her name is Ruth. To understand the weight of Ruth's choice, you must feel the depth of her emptiness. The story begins with a famine, a family from Bethlehem. Elimelech, Naomi, and their 2 sons flee to Moab, a foreign land, in search of food. The sons marry Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. Then the bottom falls out. Elimelech dies. The 2 sons die. 3 women are left in a culture where a woman's identity, security, and survival were irrevocably tied to the men in her life: father, husband, sons. They are not just grieving, they are economically obliterated, socially invisible, and facing starvation. Naomi, the mother-in-law, hears God has provided food back home in Bethlehem. She decides to return. She tells her daughters-in-law, her companions in grief, to go back to their own paths, back to their mothers' homes in Moab, back to their own gods, back to the chance of security, of a new marriage, of a known future. It is the only logical, compassionate advice. Path A. Orpah hears this. She weighs it, and she makes the reasonable, understandable, safe choice. She kisses Naomi, weeps, and turns back. She chooses the known. She chooses comfort. She disappears from history. Then Naomi turns to Ruth, and Ruth does not move. Naomi presses her. See, your sister-in-law has gone back. Go back too. And Ruth, without negotiating, without asking for guarantees, she makes a declaration, a vow to complete. It becomes the new constitution of her soul. Do not urge me to leave you or to return from following you. For where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. May the Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts me from you. Let's break the nuclear power of this statement. First, where you go, I will go. Loyalty to a person. She didn't choose a doctrine first. She didn't choose a prosperity plan. She chose a person. She tied her fate to Naomi's, a broken, bitter, empty woman who had just told her God had dealt bitterly with her. Ruth's loyalty was not to Naomi's success, but to Naomi's worth. Second, your people shall be my people. Loyalty to a place and community. She was a Moabite, a foreigner, an outsider choosing to walk into a land where she would be the other. She chose belonging over bloodline. Third, your God, my God. Loyalty to a principle. This is the ultimate focal point. She turned her back on the gods of comfort and familiarity and aligned herself with the God of covenant, the unseen God of Israel. She bet her future on a story she had only heard in whispers. Fourth, where you die, I will die. Loyalty to a purpose. This was not a temporary fix. It was a lifelong fusion. She was saying, my story is now inextricably linked to yours. Your end will be my end. Your destiny is now mine. In that moment, Ruth did not receive a map. She did not get a vision of Bethlehem. She did not see Boaz on the horizon. She saw only a destitute widow and a road to a foreign land. She chose the path of loyalty, and in doing so, she chose her future self. She became a loyal person, and life bends towards such people. So, they arrive in Bethlehem. Naomi is right. She is empty. And Ruth, the loyal one, does the only thing she can. She goes to work. She says, "Let me go to the field and glean." Gleaning was the welfare system of the day, collecting the leftovers from the edges of the field after the harvesters had passed. It was the work of the desperate, the foreigner, the poor. But here is the miraculous law of loyalty. Loyalty to a worthy path puts you in the field of favor. She happened to come to the part of the field belonging to Boaz. The text says it was a chance occurrence. But there are no chance occurrences to the person living in loyal alignment. Boaz sees her. She has heard of her loyalty, all that you have done for your mother-in-law, how you left your father and mother and your native land and came to a people that you did not know before. Her loyalty in the barren place of Moab positioned her for a favor in the harvest field of Bethlehem. But she still had to show up and do the work. She still had to bend her back in the hot sun. Loyalty doesn't mean you skip the process. It means the process becomes infused with purpose and divine appointment. The story ends, or rather, it erupts. Boaz marries Ruth. They have a son named Obed. Naomi, who said, "Call me Mara," bitter, now has a grandson in her arms. And the women say, "A son has been born to Naomi." But the ripple effect of that one loyal decision at a crossroads goes far beyond that village. Obed becomes the father of Jesse. Jesse becomes the father of David, the great king of Israel. And generations later, from the lineage of David, is born Jesus of Nazareth. Ruth, the Moabite widow who chose loyalty over comfort, becomes the great-grandmother of a king and an ancestor of the Messiah. Her name is etched in the very first chapter of the New Testament. Her loyalty did not just give her a meal, it made her part of the redemptive storyline of God. Her yes to Naomi echoed into eternity. So, you stand at your crossroads. Path A is clear. It is the path of comfort, of the known, of the logical. It is the path of Orpah. It is a good path, a safe path. It is the path that makes sense to everyone watching. Path B is different. It is the path of the Ruth decision. It is not the path of what you feel like doing. It is the path of loyalty. Loyalty to a person who needs you, even when it's costly. Loyalty to a principle you believe in, even when it's unpopular. Loyalty to a God you are still getting to know, even when he feels distant. Loyalty to the better version of yourself, even when the current version is afraid. You won't see the harvest field from here. You won't see Boaz. You certainly won't see the crown. All you will see is Naomi, the need, the obligation, the unknown, the road. But I'm telling you this cosmic truth. Loyalty is the seed of legacy. Your decisive, loyal yes to the worthy, difficult path is the most powerful creative force in your life. It unlocks doors favor cannot open. It writes your name into stories you cannot yet conceive. So today, choose your loyalty, not your comfort. Choose your allegiance, not your convenience. Tie your faith to something worthy and step onto the road. Say it with your life. Where that cause goes, I will go. Where that calling lodges, I will lodge. That people shall be my people. That God shall be my God. And watch as your empty place becomes a harvest field. Watch as your story becomes a lineage. Watch as your loyalty leads you home.